This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
AlternaTV.
Hello once again, everybody. I am Brandon Stransky, your host for AlternaTV here on Vince Russo's The Brand. Kind of been, deviating from the new format here for a little bit, but today we return to the old format. We return to business as usual. Gonna open things up. One thing that I have been wanting to discuss for a bit is, as I'm sure a lot of you understand, a lot of you know, we had had some elections going on in the United States a few weeks ago. A couple big ones in many states. Most notably, the ones that saw the most activity were, of course, Virginia and New Jersey. And there's one thing that I saw coming out of both sides of this equation that was just like, this is where. And I'm not going to say in my opinion, I'm just going to say that I truly, honestly believe that it is wrong to do it this way. Is all I keep hearing is we need to elect this type of person, we need to elect that type of person, we need to get this type of person, we need to get that type of person, we need to get X person, A person, B person, S person, G person, when we need to be looking at, okay, who cares if this person's that, this, or that? What do you bring to the table? What are your qualifications? Are you going to uphold the Constitution? Or are you going to shrink government and grow liberty? Or are you going to continue to expand and continue growing this nanny police state? Those are the things you need to be looking at. Who cares if somebody is, what skin color they are, what gender they are, or this and that, or religion, nationality? Who cares? What do you bring to the table? That's all I care about. That's all you should care about. If they are not there to do the job that they need to do, nothing else should matter. Who cares what color? Who cares what sex? Who cares what religion, nationality? None of that matters. How good of a job are you going to do? That's what you should be focusing on. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. Anyway, going to next debut a new segment I like to call Honest Hashtags. Any of you who's been on Twitter before will see there's going to be a few trending hashtags, and some of them, of course, are, you see some pretty ridiculous stuff on there. Some of them, however, go way beyond, just into dishonest, just ridiculous territory. So we're going to kind of bring it back to reality and add some honesty to them. And we're going to start it off with the hashtag that inspired this segment. Hashtag Thank you, Hillary. Yes, Hillary, thank you. Thank you for showing that you can marry a sexual predator, a rapist, enable them to all the way to the governorship, to the White House, and expand your own career and still somehow be called a feminist. Thank you, Hillary, for showing that is indeed possible. And the other one we're going to do this week is hashtag Things Politicians Shouldn't Say. There's a lot of them things that we shouldn't say, but here's some of the big ones that they should really keep their mouths shut on. Politicians shouldn't say that we can make your college free. We can make your health care free. We can make your food free. We can build a wall on the Mexican border and make Mexico pay for it. All that stuff is stupid, and they should shut up about it, because this stuff is not going to happen in any type of realistic or nonsensical way that doesn't involve screwing the shit out of the American people. move on to Alterna News. I'm sure some of you guys have heard about... First thing I want to get into is the whole thing with the executive order on the reversal on the elephant trophy parts. Honestly, you know what? I think, my opinion, they plan on that being a bait and switch from the word go. I will bet you anything that they were already planning to reverse it because they knew exactly what the reaction was going to be, and they already had the reversal planned out to make themselves look good. Oh, look, he's listening to the people. He's actually paying attention to their outcries and actually acting on something that they don't like. Come on. Do you really think that sort of thing is like that kind of a priority issue? Never mind the morality of the fact that it's just flat out wrong, but really you think they're going to, with all this thing they have on their agenda, they think something like that's the top of the list to take care of? I'm sure Trump Jr. would have been happy about having that go through, but honestly, it just reeks of a distraction or a action to get a desired reaction, something they had planned already, like a mini false flag of, oh, I'm gonna do this, you're going to react, and I'm going to do something to get you to react again in a way I want you to react to make me look good. That's my opinion of how this whole thing went down, but anyway, man, left has been getting pummeled recently, coming out with these allegations. Big one, of course, this past week was Al Franken being caught on photograph groping a woman's chest while she was asleep. Now, granted, he did apologize. He did accept responsibility. And there should be some commendation for it because, on the other side, you got guys like Roy Moore who are just completely continue to deny it, despite the fact there's, double-digit corroborating, and it's everything I've read is like, oh yeah, that's a thing that he does. But anyway, it's just, man, I am enjoying watching them finally start to turn on. It's probably going to be a slow burn into an eventual, completely over the cliff. But they're starting to turn on the Clintons now. Finally, of course, it could have something to do with the fact that their influence and money is starting to dry up. But I digress. And, of course, the big thing talking today is the tax bill. Everybody's kind of freaking out about that. Just one thing I do want to add on that people are forgetting that, oh, the rich are getting the best tax break out of it, when the thing is, though, they're already paying the majority out of it. So any tax break is going to benefit them more than it would the average person because they're already paying more than the average person. So naturally, any type of tax cut, they'll see more of a benefit than you or I probably will. And then, but me personally, being libertarian, there shouldn't be an income tax bill. There shouldn't be income tax, period. But again, I digress.
Vince, let's go.
Jeff, here's why this show sucks off the bat. I didn't even care. Vince McMahon sucks, bro. Do you understand? Shoot an angle, that's the shit. They're pussies, bro.
You're gonna bust somebody's ass
You
open.
just
took all this guy's flavor away. He really does suck as a heel. I can't stand this guy.
Oh, yeah, bro, you're bitter. Get your shit together. So freaking illogical. Are you freaking kidding me, bro? And I'll be honest with you.
Onto PC, popular culture, as opposed to politically correct or patriotically correct, which are two absolutely abhorrent things that need to be eliminated as soon as possible. The new South Park has been just, oh man, it's like I said the last time, it is kind of back to basics, but they are trying new things that I think is great. The thing that's entertained me the past couple episodes is they've started a because if you've been watching, Cartman now has a girlfriend. It's been kind of a weird back and forth abusive relationship where somehow Cartman managed to gaslight himself into thinking he's the one being abused in this relationship, even though he's clearly being the abuser. But if you've watched South Park for any length of time, you know Cartman's a sociopath with great mental gymnastics. But the direction they've somehow managed to go is his girlfriend is now somehow slowly starting to transition into a female version of him, and now starting to dominate him. And I am very interested to see where this goes, because this could be very interesting and great character development for them, because like if you've seen Cartman, if you've watched him for any amount of time, like that character is just something else. And now seeing him finally kind of quite possibly meet his match in a monster he himself created, that could be some intriguing television. That really could. I mean, South Park's always been great, terrific writing, and I don't expect them to drop the ball on this, especially and as you guys have probably heard, like when the election came out, they said that they weren't going to poke fun at Trump, because they said, like, there's nothing we could do that could there's no satire we could do that could top what he does in real life. But they did manage to do the next best thing, which is figure out a way to adapt that into the South Park universe by basically taking all the Trump traits and putting them on Garrison and making him the president, which has been absolutely freaking hysterical. If you haven't been checking it out, you need to. Just having Garrison, like, play the role, like, it's basically Garrison as Trump, which is hysterical and one of the funniest things on television right now, in my opinion. Next week is going to be, actually, recording this on Sunday, what's the date? Let me grab my phone real quick. Recording on Sunday the 19th, so on Friday the 24th will be the release of Trailer Park Boys Out of the Park USA. I plan on binge watching that. Although of course, with how that night might end up going, I might not remember much of it. Hopefully I do. To do a review of that as part of the show next week. And then we're going to go ahead and close it off with Restoring the Republic.
Jabron.
If this is your first time seeing this segment, this particular segment is we're running with the scenario of if God gave me the, basically if God says, Brandon, you're in charge of fixing this country, anything you say goes, you have basically, anything you say I will make happen. Okay, so with the tax plan that's been coming up, here is how I would handle it at this juncture in time. In a previous editions, we've already eliminated the Federal Reserve System, we've already eliminated the IRS, those are gone. So, here's a new tax plan I would implement. Income tax would be completely 100% scrapped. 16th Amendment, gone. Income tax, gone. In its place instead would be this. A system where you would voluntarily choose how much of your money will be taken out of your paycheck, and you would also decide where exactly that goes. Every quarter, you would be up for a renewal, if you want to change that up, the amount you're giving, and to where it goes to. You can give away, 80% of your paycheck, you can keep 100% of your paycheck. All up to you, you decide. Sounds pretty American that way, right? And the idea with that system is it basically just be there in place to help those who actually do need it until private charities and private foundations and other charitable organizations are strong enough to essentially render the system obsolete, which is, of course, the ideal. What we're trying to do is because the whole point of these programs is to basically just help the people who really, 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 really need it, not people who are too lazy to actually, take care of themselves until we can, like I just said, till they're rendered obsolete and the private sector has private charities and foundations are strong enough to carry the workload, not get everybody suckling at the teat to where the state's essentially the mommy and daddy nanny state. That is that is it for this week's AlternaTV. Thank you guys for watching. You can always follow me at BSWriter67 at Twitter. Make sure you check out all the other great personalities here at russosbrand.com, and I will see you all later.
This is Vince Russo's The Brand.